If you're watching this video, you have recently found human design and you're probably feeling pretty overwhelmed at this point. Hello, my name is Tressa Rivera. I am the creator of Human Design Hypnotherapy. I'm a trained human design analyst, and I'm also a certified hypnotherapist with the American Board of Hypnotherapy. There's a ton of information about human design out there, and you're probably feeling really lost on which direction to go and what to do. And you probably think that you need to learn an overwhelming amount of information in a short period of time. And I am here to kind of ease some of your worries and soothe some of your fears, because we do not need to learn everything about human design in one sitting. Human design is a system that is deeply complex, and there are so many different working parts. Human design is something that we go to school in order to learn and to become trained analysts. When you first find human design, I think that there are some foundational concepts that you need to grasp before you can even go into studying human design. Human design is not a personality typing system. Human design is a genetic coding system, and your personality is just a byproduct of what's in your DNA. So I want you to understand that everything you're going to learn in human design has to do with your physical body, and it has to do with the consciousness or the soul that inhabits the physical body, or vice versa. It has to do with the fact that this physical body has wisdom and intelligence and a consciousness that is vastly different than our personality's consciousness. Human design has to do with the fact that our minds treat our bodies like slaves, that we are all conditioned with certain beliefs about what is good, what is bad, what is right, what is wrong. We are born into this homogenized society, meaning we are all told that we're the same. We are all taught from birth that if we don't use the mind to make decisions, we're idiots. And we are all taught that we all need 8 hours of sleep and 3 meals a day and yada, 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 yada. So human design is the art of differentiation, and human design teaches us how to make decisions from the wisdom of our body as opposed to the conditioned beliefs of the mind. In order to learn how to make decisions from the wisdom of your body, you have a strategy and an authority. This is the most important thing that you can research when you first find human design. So what's going to happen is you're going to look your human design chart up. You can look it up for free on a couple of different resources. I personally love Genetic Matrix, but you can also use resources like, there's one on my website. When you go to my website, you're going to enter in your birth information. Now, if you don't know the correct time of birth, go find your birth certificate. It can change really important details within the human design chart. Don't guess. Don't ask your mom. Moms may or may not remember. I have 3 kids. My youngest is 5. I could not tell you to the minute what time he was born. Find your birth certificate if you're serious about human design. So when you first find your human design chart, you're going to see something like this. It's going to look really foreign. You do not need to know what all of it means. Look at the properties on the left, all of the writings over here. And you're going to look first at what type you are. And then you're going to look at your inner authority. So mine says splenic manifester. My inner authority is a spleen. My type is a manifester. There's 5 different types. You're either going to be a pure generator, a manifesting generator, a projector, a manifester, which is different than a manifesting generator, or a reflector. So once you find your type, now you can start to look at your strategy. So I want you to think about our strategy like our game plan. Each type has strategy. What are you going to do? How are you going to listen to the wisdom of your body? How does your body speak to you, right? How are you going to take this information into the world? Because the truth about human design is that you could understand what all of the nuances, what all of the gates and the channels and the this mean and the that mean. But if you don't understand your own strategy and authority, you will never be able to live out your purpose and the function as the person you're designed to be. Understanding your strategy is so wildly important. I have a bunch of resources on my website. I have a bunch of resources on my Instagram page, but also go do your own personal research. Look it up on different YouTube videos, go to different Google sites. Like, what does it mean to be a pure generator? What does it mean to be a projector? And really dive into your strategy of what that is. Having a solid, real life, practical application of strategy is going to advance you in your human design experiment more than any bit of mental information that you think you need to learn. I wish, now my first human design chart reading, my teacher, my analyst really drilled that into my head. And so after my first human design chart reading, I started following my strategy and authority that day. And after a week of following my strategy and authority, I came to the realization that I had no idea how to follow my strategy and authority. This is an experiment after all. You have to get your hands in the clay. You have to live it. You have to try to live it, attempt to live it in order to realize how deeply conditioned you are. We're looking at the innate wisdom of our bodies. We are all birthed into this world with that wisdom and intelligence. And it is the mind that conditions us out of it. Our parents have beliefs, teachers have beliefs, our peers have beliefs. We develop a model of reality before the age of 7. That's when our model of reality is being formed. As a matter of fact, our full conscious awareness, our brainwaves don't cycle all the way up until beta consistently until around the age of 12. Between the ages of 7 and 12 is when we're really cycling up into beta and creating that conscious awareness for ourselves. So before then, especially before the ages of 7, we are functioning in subconscious awareness, which means that we are sponges and we are taking everything in as if it were truth, as if it were fact. This is where the majority of our conditioning happens when we're a child, and we develop all sorts of beliefs about ourselves, what we can do, what we can't do, what we should be, what we shouldn't be. So as an adult, you have to understand that this conditioning you're coming up against too is at a subconscious programmed level. We have conditioning in our belief structures and our emotional wounds. We also have conditioning at a cellular level because our body is used to being in a pattern that may or may not be according to the person you were designed to be. So as you start to follow your strategy, you're really going to be able to witness and observe your conditioned patterns. Now, strategy is half of the equation. Strategy is your game plan, but our inner authority is our guidance system. How do we know which direction to go within the game plan? When you're looking at your chart, you're going to look at my inner authority, and it's splenic. Now, there's a few different inner authorities. For some people, you'll have the same type, same authority. For some people, you'll have wildly different types, different authorities. Understand that inner authority always comes back to a point inside of the body. This is the wisdom and intelligence of the body that is guiding us constantly in a right direction. For example, somebody like me with a splenic authority, I am being guided by my immune system and my lymphatic system. I am being guided through all of my senses that are operating in the now, including my intuition, my sixth sense. People with splenic authorities are guided by their intuition. And for the first week or two of your human design experiment, you're going to focus on strategy and authority. This is not to say you can't research things, right? But I want to help you understand that without experimentation, this information is meaningless. So while you use your mind to study different aspects of human design, I want you to understand that playing with and living out and witnessing your body and the intelligence of your body, moment by moment, day by day, that is the most important thing you can do by attempting to live your strategy and authority. Once you kind of get a grasp and handle on strategy and authority, the next thing you want to start to study is profile. And I'll show you where profile is in the chart. Think about profile like an outfit that you wear throughout your life. It's a theme. You can have a different type, different authority, and have the same profile. So again, on the properties over here, profile, I am a 6'2" role model hermit. Our profile comes from our incarnation cross. So it is a karmic thing. We have this 6'2" profile. When you're looking at the numbers, you're looking at everything that we see. The first number is consciously aware, like what we're consciously aware of. And the second number is what we're unconsciously aware of. The mechanics of that go a little bit deeper, but we're gonna stay right on the surface because we really don't want you guys to get confused in human design. We want you to be able to learn and to grow and to stay with it so you can practically apply it. Because if you can't use this information in real life, then what's the point? Always keep in mind that the first number is what you're aware of. This is what you see inside of yourself. The second number is not what you see inside of yourself. It's what other people see inside of you before you see inside of yourself. You're practicing your strategy and authority. You're becoming aware of your profile. And the last thing to focus on is your definition. This is getting a little bit more advanced into human design, but your definition is everything you have colored in versus everything you don't have colored in. So these centers that are white, we call it undefined. Think about this like a receptor site. This is what I'm receiving from others. Everything that you have colored in, this is your definition. Think about it like a light that's always turned on. This is what you're giving to the world. This is what you're energetically expressing on a day-to-day basis. And this is ultimately who you are. Now, what'll happen is that we will all create these dysfunctional and conditioned patterns around who we are not. And who we are not is our open centers, right? And so the more that you can start to understand your definition, the more you can understand who you are and you can start to witness who you're not. When you get ready to study your definition, first of all, check and see if you have a split in your definition. I do not, and it will tell you in the properties over here, definition single. So I do not have a split in my definition. A lot of people do. Some people have a one split, some people are a triple split, some people are even a quad split. So understand what all of that stuff means. But then when you're really looking into the centers themselves, study each center. You don't just want to study the ones that you have colored in, because the ones that you have not colored in, your open centers, this is the pain point. This is your shadow. This is your dysfunction. This is what you're trying to move out of. This is the pattern that has been holding you back your entire life. So go through each one of the centers and Google, what does it mean to have an undefined head? What does it mean to have an undefined ajna? What does it mean to have a defined throat? I just wanted to give you some guidance and guidelines on what the hell to do when you find all of this information, because just having a little bit of guidance towards what do I look up first, as opposed to just like looking for a needle in a haystack, is really helpful. This is information I wish I had when I first found human design. The best bit of information that I could give you is to go pay for a professional reading. Human design has the capacity to change your entire life, and it has the capacity to shift your timeline into this just incredible version of yourself when you start to live within alignment of who you're designed to be, right? We're talking body, mind, soul in alignment. We are talking creating super magnetic attractor alignment. My entire life has changed. My business has changed. My income has changed. All of my relationships have changed thanks to human design. My hopes and dreams are that it's going to change your entire life as well. So do your own personal research, focus on strategy and authority, book a professional reading, find somebody you resonate with. Make sure they are a trained human design chart reader or analyst. If you go onto Instagram, you can follow me at Human Design Hypnotherapy. I have a lot of helpful tips and a lot of practical information for you to be able to use human design in your day-to-day life. I also offer healing support through hypnotherapy, which allows us to access your unconscious mind directly so that we can work around some of your conditioned beliefs and emotional wounds that are holding you back at a subconscious level. I'm so excited that you found Human Design. This information is going to change your life. I know that it can be confusing and frustrating. Keep going. Feel free to reach out to me if you want to work with me one-on-one.